Welcome to the Changes to the Team episode for Gameweek 28. Before we go on to the team selection for the upcoming game week, let's take a look at the points scored in Gameweek 27. At the time of recording, there is still one game to be played in Gameweek 27 between Man City and Stoke. But Lee Grant managed to keep a clean sheet in the first of his two fixtures in Gameweek 27 as Stoke secured a 2-0 win over Middlesbrough. He has an away trip to Man City to gain a couple of extra points. Elsewhere in defence, it was a bit of a nightmare week with 0 clean sheets or attacking returns from the 4 defenders. Everton's 3-2 defeat to Spurs saw Seamus Coleman return just the 1 point, while Leighton Baines is set to replace the absent Matt Phillips from the bench to also return 1 point. Gareth McCauley's goal streak came to an end as West Brom lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Marcos Alonso looked set for a clean sheet against West Ham until Manuel Lanzini scored a consolation goal for the Hammers, late into stoppage time. In midfield, Gylfi Sigurdsson provided points for a 6th consecutive game week, with his assist in Swansea's 3-2 win over Burnley. Sadio Mane led Liverpool to a 3-1 win over Arsenal, providing 1 goal and 1 assist. And finally, Raheem Sterling got his double game week off to a good start with an assist against Sunderland. Hopefully he can add to that when Man City host Stoke midweek. Up front, the glaring disappointment was of course Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The Man United forward had a huge off game in a 1-1 draw with Bournemouth, where he was fortunate to stay on the pitch after an incident with Tyrone Mings. The Big Swede had 7 goal attempts during the game, including a missed penalty, so really should have put at least one of his chances away. Instead, he ended the game with a score of -1 and with a likely retrospective ban to follow. Romelu Lukaku snatched a consolation goal for Everton in the 3-2 defeat to Spurs to return a solid 6-point score, but the man who can make or break this game week is Sergio Aguero. Not only is the Argentinian wearing the armband, but the triple captainship is activated, so we need him to add to his 1 goal so far this game week when Man City take on Stoke. So at the moment it's looking like a small red arrow, but hopefully after Man City and Stoke play midweek that will turn around. It's disappointing to have sold Kane over Zlatan this game week, but with Man United's fixture at home to Bournemouth, selling him was just not an option really. The other mistake of course was to put Baines ahead of Tom Carroll on the bench. It was a close call, but Carroll's attacking stats had been fairly poor prior to the Burnley game, whereas Baines was putting in some decent numbers for attempted assists, and he's on penalties of course, so that swung the decision in the end. So now let's look ahead to Game Week 28. It'll most likely be a 4-point hit in Game Week 28 as we look to replace players with a blank game week in an attempt to field 11 players. Raheem Sterling was only intended to be a 1-week punt due to Man City's double game week, so he makes way, while Zlatan Ibrahimovic will likely follow as he looks set to receive a retrospective ban. A second Liverpool midfielder will come into the team ahead of their home fixture against Burnley in the form of Philippe Coutinho. His 7 shots on target during the last 4 game weeks is more than any other midfielder. There aren't many options for a replacement up front, as very few top-class strikers have a fixture in Game Week 28. Fernando Llorente has been in form, but due to owning 3 Swansea players already, he sadly isn't an option. So Andy Carroll will likely enter the team after returning to fitness for West Ham's 2-1 defeat to Chelsea. With fixtures against Bournemouth and Leicester in the next 2 game weeks, he looks like a good short-term punt. And here's how the team will line up after making those changes. Eldin Jakupovic will return in goal as Hull hosts Swansea, and in defence, it'll be a return to a back 3 with the Everton duo Seamus Coleman and Leighton Baines lining up against Gareth McCauley. The attack isn't the strongest this game week as Tom Carroll enters the starting 11, and we're hoping that Matt Phillips can return to fitness after missing West Brom's last 2 Premier League games. For captaincy this week, Sadio Mane provides an option at home to a Burnley side that have failed to win any of their last 4 matches. The Liverpool attacker has been involved in 4 of his team's last 6 Premier League goals, scoring 3 and providing 1 assist. However, Romelu Lukaku is sure to be a popular choice as well, having provided 6 goals during the last 4 game weeks. Everton host a West Brom side that were beaten 2-0 by Crystal Palace last weekend and have taken just 2 wins from their last 5 games. But as always, be sure to follow FPLtips on Twitter for the confirmed team and captaincy selection, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video.